G'day guys, welcome to an emergency edition of Money Cat. Money? It's such an emergency I haven't even come up with a title for what we're going to call it. This episode is about the cryptocurrency crash. I want to achieve a couple of things in this video. Firstly, I want to do a victory lap saying I was right and there would be a humongous cryptocurrency crash. Secondly, I want to go through what's happened and discuss in more detail why it's happening and what we can see in the future. But firstly, if you want to be woken in the middle of the night by emergency broadcasts about cryptocurrency crashes, then maybe you need to subscribe to my channel by hitting the subscribe button below, liking, and giving me your thoughts on cryptocurrency in general. Let's get into it. If you're living under a rock or you're an adult, you may not have heard about the great cryptocurrency crash of 2021. As of Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, the price of Bitcoin dropped by over 30% from all-time highs, and Ethereum dropped over 40% from all-time highs. Both of these cryptocurrencies and a couple of others had a disappointing rebound the next day, much like most of my 20s. Whilst this crash was sudden, it shocked no one who had any basic understanding of investment, finance, risk and return, that 1,000% returns weren't normal, that highly volatile startups are pretty volatile, and many other things. It did, however, shock a lot of teenage boys who were unaware that the stock market could go down. So what drove this crash? A couple of things. Firstly, apparently the value of cryptocurrency is now tied solely to Elon Musk, who's not known for his reliable tweeting habits at the best of times. Shockingly, he tweeted something outrageous and the bottom fell out of the marketplace. Which I'd like to point out, if this dude's the guy who's controlling all of the world's decentralized marketplace, it doesn't sound very decentralized. Secondly, China also noted that it doesn't want to have cryptocurrency, in particular Bitcoin, as a currency within its economy, which isn't shocking considering China shoots you if you do something they don't like. So I mean, having a massively decentralized, unregulated currency for an authoritarian regime, maybe not. Thirdly, and this is completely my opinion, a majority of people who are heavily invested in cryptocurrency aren't long-term sophisticated investors. Now, I don't mean this as a slight to people. I mean that you're not having 50-year-old dudes who've been investing their whole lives driving this market. This is a millennial, Gen Y, Zoomer phenomenon, the cryptocurrency space in particular. Whilst, I'm a Gen Y, maybe, hopefully, I don't know. There's dudes younger than me throwing money in the market who weren't even investing during the GFC in 2008. They've essentially never seen a massive stock market or equity market or cryptocurrency market correction in their time. I'm gonna call it, I think y'all kind of got scared, pushed out, and sold as soon as it got rough. Which is actually one of my theories about how there's going to be increased volatility in markets in the future, in that so much investing is no longer based on fundamentals or long-term strategy. It's based on speculation, and I would argue gambling. And when the going gets tough, people fold. This isn't to say that a lot of the cryptocurrency platforms don't have inherent value in them. So many of them are doing really interesting things with tech that is world changing. Cardano is essentially banking the unbanked in the world. Ethereum has got smart contracts built into its currency, which is incredible. Vet's supply chain operations are world changing as well. And all of these guys have commercial partners and are doing commercial stuff. Monero, an untraceable cryptocurrency for if you want to deal drugs and you've realized that Bitcoin isn't actually anonymous. When there's a lot of froth in the market and a lot of cash in the market, which is what we're seeing now, people get pretty skittish easily. They're living a life where they're used to making 10 times, 100 times, making thousands of dollars in a day from essentially just throwing money at stuff. When the tables turn, sometimes those guys aren't there for the long run and are going to pack up and sell at the first sign of trouble. So what's funny as well is the cryptocurrency market has crashed several times before under similar circumstances and had a strong rebound. So will the market rebound? Maybe, probably. I think so. Cryptocurrency is here to stay whether we like it or not. I think it is a necessary part of people's investment portfolios, but it shouldn't be most of your investment portfolio unless you don't care about losing most of it, which frankly, I'd prefer not to lose my entire investment portfolio. I got Porsches to buy, I got Jaguars to buy, not the car, the actual cat, I would like one of those. I got a life to live. I don't want to speculate on everything and maybe lose it. Another interesting point I've heard is around Bitcoin being a buffer to inflation or a hedge to inflation. Now, inflation is inevitably going to start showing through, which I believe it already is showing through, because global governments have been pumping cash into the economy to keep it afloat. The fact that we haven't had inflationary pressure until recently is incredible. But having that much cash flowing in the marketplace means prices are inevitably going to start going up. To argue that in order to offset this inflation, you should go into something like Bitcoin, to me is insane. Because if I want to hedge against inflation, I want stability. I don't want something that's going to go up or down 30% in a day. I don't really see why it would overtake gold. I also have concerns about Bitcoin overall going forward. There's a few things on the horizon that are somewhat concerning for Bitcoin. One is that it will reach a point when they run out of Bitcoins and they finish mining, and then they're going to have to do something about that. The second is that the transactions aren't particularly efficient on Bitcoin as a currency. Whereas if you look at currencies like Ripple or Cardano or Ethereum, the transactions are far faster and more efficient to do. When I say this, I mean, if I want to use, let's say, something like Bitcoin as a fiat replacement for currency, I can't go and buy an ice cream, tap my card, and then wait around for 9 minutes while it clears. It just doesn't make sense. Controversial opinion is that Bitcoin will actually slowly fade from the #1 position in cryptocurrency, and Ethereum will take over at some point in the future. Now you're probably saying, Moneycat, what do you mean? It's the #1, how could it not? Let's just remember, HD DVDs were the #1 for a while. Do any of you guys even remember what HD DVDs are? I bet you don't. Well, they were like the competitor to Blu-ray, but Blu-ray won. So whenever you get a new piece of technology entering the marketplace, you get situations where there's a battle between two preeminent technologies. When I look at Bitcoin and Ethereum, I think Ethereum might win this one. Where am I going with this? Well, other than doing a victory lap about the fact that of course crypto is going to crash at some point, the whole thing's insane, I think it'll come back. I think crypto is here to stay. I think crypto should be part of an investment portfolio, but should be the riskiest part of your portfolio. So if you have $1,000 to invest, 100 gets to go in crypto, the other 900 gets to go in safe stuff, not the other way around. I hope you like this emergency broadcast for Moneycat. I'm testing this format out. It's 5 o'clock on a Friday and I'm sitting in my office doing it. I'm not in the studio. Didn't even put makeup on for this whole thing. You're welcome. So I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your comments down below and I'll catch you again soon. Thanks.